Hi guys, the Benidorm Enthusiast here. Today's video is all about pickpocketing in Benidorm. Now this is not a video I enjoy making, but it's something that needs to be done now and again to keep people aware of what's going on. I'm going to be telling you about some new tricks these scumbag thieves are using to get their scally hands on your belongings, as well as going over tips to help you avoid getting dipped. So how bad is pickpocketing in Benidorm? Well, it most definitely is a problem, there's no denying that. Is it any worse than any other busy tourist resort or city where there are a lot of people? Probably not. Unfortunately, this problem exists almost everywhere around the world where there are lots of people. A high concentration of people makes for lots of opportunities for pickpockets to do their thing unnoticed. Add alcohol into the mix, which is obviously prevalent in Benidorm. It brings people's guards down, ups vulnerability, and therefore these dirty pickpockets are in their element. The most common theft in Benidorm nowadays is of mobile phones. There is a massive criminal underground involved in the mobile phone black market. It is big business nowadays, probably because of the value of modern mobiles. Many people are walking around with around £1,000's worth of mobile phone in their pockets. My first bit of advice is to remember how much your phone is worth. Imagine it's a big fat wad of cash. You wouldn't sit at a table with £1,000 in cash just laid there next to your pint and your fags. You wouldn't leave £1,000 in cash on the bar while you go and take the drinks over to your friends. Most of us wouldn't even dream of walking about with £1,000 of cash in our pockets or our bag. Now that's not to say you shouldn't go out with an expensive phone. Nowadays we all like to have our phones with us almost all the time for taking photos, videos, they're all connected to our social media, so it's quick to share those fun Benidorm moments with the world. And in an ideal world we should be able to do that, do what we want with our phones without having to worry. Unfortunately that's just not the world we live in. If you can go without your expensive mobile phone on your holidays, swap it out. Swap it out for a cheap older model that you're not going to miss. Phones these days have some very sensitive info on them. Bank details and extremely personal data can be very costly if it gets into the wrong hands. And although most phone and tech companies have ways to help keep the bad guys out should you have your phone stolen or lost, the bad guys are also always coming up with new ways to bypass the security features and get into your personal data, empty your bank account and literally leave you high and dry. A scam I've seen a few people get done with recently is by an email. The email gets sent to the phone owner after it's been lost or stolen. The email says something along the lines of, "This phone has been found. Click the link and enter your password to locate the phone." These emails seem to be being sent from the thieves themselves. Once you click the link, it's basically a hack to give them access to your phone, which they now have, and access to everything on it. I've heard of thousands being wiped out from bank accounts using this scam. It is very scary what they can actually do. That's one of the new tricks these thieves have to get their hands on even more of your hard-earned dosh. But how do they actually get hold of your phone in the first place? Well, unfortunately, even if you are super careful, they are super sly and they are forever coming up with new tricks to get your belongings. Before we get into some of the new and some typically old pickpocketing methods, here's a quick word about the sponsors of today's video. Ekster make super cool wallets, card holders and other accessories which can help you keep your important stuff safe as well as looking stylish. The flip button for your cards makes life so much easier than fumbling about trying to squeeze them out of a regular wallet. A very smooth look if you're trying to impress at the bar. But what really impressed me was that these wallets are trackable with these Ekster tracker cards. These could potentially save you so much hassle. They're really easy to set up with the Chipolo app and available for Apple and Android. Not only can you locate your wallet if lost, you can also ring it from your phone. And if you've lost your phone, it can work in the reverse direction, so you can ring your phone from the tracker card as well. Absolutely genius. They fit snugly into the back of your extra wallet or card holder, and these could be a lifesaver for group holidays. Do you have one of those friends that always goes on walkabout on holiday? You could stick a tracker card in their bra or in their sock and you'll be able to locate them very easily if they go off on a wander. Very useful for a Benidorm trip and a great gift idea. Click the link in the description below to check out all the extra products, and be sure to add our discount code Benidorm at the checkout for further savings on top of any extra sales. Okay, so let's go through some of the techniques pickpockets use, not just in Benidorm but all over the world, to relieve you of your belongings. The most common and probably the technique most of us are aware of is the stealth method. This is when you don't even know you've been dipped until it's too late. You don't even feel their hands in your pocket or in your bag. They're so damn good at it. Now, this often happens in busy places where there are a lot of people and a lot of hustle and bustle. Markets, busy shopping streets, in the busy bars, places where you're less likely to be startled if somebody brushes up against you. So be aware of your personal space and keep valuables in a tight front pocket or a zip compartment on the inside of your bag where it's more difficult for them to reach. Walking around with your phone or your wallet sticking out of your back pocket, it's just asking for trouble, because they will have it in a flash and you won't even realise it's gone until it's gone and they've disappeared too. Another common method is using distraction. Thieves will distract your attention to something else so you're concentrating on that and often oblivious to anything else going on. This is a tactic used by the P-men. We've done loads of videos warning people of the scam game that the P-men play, where they get you to gamble on a game that you're never going to win. But they also have a team of pickpockets who appear to be standing around watching or even participating in the game. These are actually most of the time dipping pockets, or perhaps slipping your watch off while you focus on the P-men and their game. Or they'll be scanning the crowd to see which people have phones, wallets, jewellery, etc. on them, and whereabouts on their person they're being kept. They'll get a message to other gang members up the road of potential targets, and they'll know exactly which pockets or bags to pick from when you walk off up the street. They may use another distraction technique to carry out this part. You might walk past somebody, walk into somebody, a brief bump or a brush of shoulders, that's all it takes. These scallies are so quick and so good at what they do. In literally a split second, they can have your stuff off you without you feeling a thing. So when it comes to the P-men, don't even stop and watch, just walk right on by. Don't give them any opportunity to make a target out of you in any way. The hugger-mugger technique seems to be growing in popularity in Benidorm especially. In general, the people that visit and that live in Benidorm are very friendly people, and the thieves are finding ways to use that to their advantage. Benidorm is a very friendly place. You'll meet loads of new people every day here, in the bars, in the cafes, restaurants, around the pools, on the beach, in the shops, out on excursions. Everywhere you go, pretty much, you'll meet new people. And whilst most are lovely and just out to enjoy themselves as you are, there are of course some unsavoury characters that linger and mingle amongst us. They'll pretend to be tourists, often dressing like they're on holiday, and they may speak very good English too. They'll befriend you, you'll have a chat, and before they leave they'll give you a nice big friendly hug, whilst at the same time they're emptying your pockets of all your goodies. So I'm not saying don't talk to anybody or make new friends on holiday. Of course, we don't want that. That is what many of us love about Benidorm so much. But do be aware of this technique and trust your instinct. If somebody seems a bit dodgy and up to no good, they usually are. Swerve them and find some nice people to chat to instead. If you're finding someone difficult to get rid of in a bar, make a staff member aware. If the thief feels like they've been made and they're being watched, they'll soon scarper. This technique is being used more and more in bars where they're showing football. The thief will pretend to be a supporter of whoever's playing, and when a goal is scored, they celebrate, they bounce around among the genuine supporters, happily dipping loads of pockets along the way. When the excitement from the goal dies down, the genuine supporters soon realise phones, wallets, cash, all the goodies have been lifted during those few moments of celebration. So if you're a footy fan in Benidorm, just be wary of who you're celebrating with. Another distraction technique is the lost tourist scam. This is when you're sitting at a table with your stuff sitting on the table in front with you. A supposed lost tourist will approach you with a map. They'll stick the map under your nose, asking if you can give directions to such and such a place. And whilst the map is blocking the view of your stuff on the table, they'll swipe it all away in one slick move, all at the same time while you're chatting away innocently, giving them directions. An easy way to avoid this is just don't have your stuff out on the table in front of you, not your valuable stuff anyway. A similar lost tourist scam can be done in the street too. This is where somebody approaches you appearing completely lost and asking for directions to a hotel or bar, maybe a landmark. If you don't know the way, they'll ask you if you have your phone on you. Can you look it up for them? As soon as you take your phone out of your pocket and you open it up, they'll nick it and they'll scarp it away quicker than you can say Google Maps. Of course, now they have your phone unlocked and have access to all your apps and all your sensitive data that's on there. On a night time, steer well clear of the ladies of the night. These generally hang about on the edges of the strip area, waiting to prey on those a little inebriated on their way home. Don't even let them come near you. If you see them approaching, hold your hands out in front of you and tell them to go away. If they get near you, they'll touch you up. They'll offer you all sorts of 10-euro love you long timer type services, and whilst trying to excite you with their hands all over, they'll also be lifting all your stuff. Don't even be tempted by the services they offer. If you do accept, they'll take you down a dark alley where they'll pull your pants down, they'll empty your pockets, and they'll just run off with your stuff. You can't chase them because you'll end up flat on your face on the floor with your pants round your ankles. The ladies of the night have got no intention of performing any sort of sexual favours for you when they can just rob you for nothing. Why would they? So steer well clear. And if you're travelling on your own and you've got a fair walk back to your hotel, jump in a taxi. Better to be safe than sorry. And if you're in a group, please, please, please stick together. Now, I hope this video isn't alarming you too much. It's meant to help keep people aware and hopefully help people avoid being pickpocketed, and it's not meant to scare people. One of my favourite sayings when it comes to staying safe on your holidays is don't leave your common sense on the plane. Keep your wits about you as much as you would back home on a daily basis, and just keep these pickpocket tricks in the back of your mind when you're out here on your holidays. Of course, there are no guarantees, and sometimes even the most careful person can become a victim of these types of crimes. Do what you can to minimise that risk for yourself. And if you do get pickpocketed, please report it to the police. It's unlikely you'll get your stuff back, but it will get noted down as an incident. Too many crimes go unreported here. The crime numbers don't reflect the reality. Politicians and the councillors, they look at the crime data for Benidorm and they don't see it as a problem because the numbers don't correlate to what is actually going on. So as much as a pain in the arse it is getting the crime reported whilst you're on holiday, please do it. It may well help someone in the future if the powers that be do sit up and take note and do something to reduce the regularity of these things happening. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you found this video helpful. Give it a share and help us get the word out and keep people aware. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already so you don't miss any future videos, and also check us out on Facebook, Instagram, X and TikTok at the Benidorm Enthusiast. Stay positive and stay safe.